Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Nick here, and today we're doing the Fremennik Sagas number 5. Thok your block off. So, you will need 71 dungeoneering and to get 100% completion, 75 strength. You will also need to make the best thing ever, fish Mini Marm and Miss Marm, and kill more monsters than Marmos by 5. So, we'll skip to the live recording now. Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're here with the 5th Fremennik Saga guide, and that is Thok your block off. So first of all, head over to Demonheim if you're not already there. Run up to the bank and bank everything you have on you, and that includes your ring of kinship if you use that to teleport here. Don't forget that. So once you've done that, head down to School Run as always. Now I just want to mention the fact that for a very long period of time this saga was deemed, I guess, impossible by I guess the majority of players doing this, and there was a lot of people that weren't actually able to get their completion escape because this was the only thing stopping them. But since I think it started with the beginning of the EOC, but it has actually been fixed a couple of times. Some fixes didn't work and it was still very, very difficult, and only a small handful of players could in fact complete it. But it is good, it's all good to go now, so head over there if you haven't already done this, because it's definitely worth getting out of the way, and it's some nice bit of lore to play through as well. Lore's always good. It's always good to know about the history of the game. It's quite interesting. So head down to you've already head down to School Run and started. If you haven't talked to him before about the 5th saga, you'll want to actually talk to him, physically talk to him, to unlock the memory piece. If you haven't got the memory piece, you'll want to go and find that memory piece in an occult floor. But if you have, talked to him, he'll unlock it, and then you can start the saga as usual. Now when you start the saga, you will be playing as Thok, and Marmos will be with you. So similar setup to the previous saga, not the previous one, the 3rd one. But you will be in a guardian room with about, I think it's sort of 6 monsters, and you just kill them afterwards. Thok's sort of boasting about how he's the best at fighting. Marmos challenges him, and then you go to a challenge, and this is where, for the unabridged, you have to beat Marmos by 5 kills. Now it's very important you beat him by 5, and it's not difficult anymore, whereas before it was very difficult, almost impossible. I would have said impossible for me anyways, because I'm not that great at EOC as it is, and even those who are good probably will have a very, very hard time doing it. But now it's sort of, you can do it with basic abilities. For abilities, just put sort of 5 abilities you are comfortable using. So for me, I always use this sort of same melee setup for everything, because I don't do much in the means of combat, but this has done me fine for it. Although I would suggest put in Slaughter, Assault and Berserk for sure on, because they're very useful here, and you just want to use them all the times that you can, because it does help. So yeah, it's pretty much fighting through guardian rooms, trying to beat Marmos. Marmos has gone off a different way, and if you didn't accidentally click through the cutscene, you would have seen that Thok's sword got taken by the curse bearer, and he's run off this way. Marmos has gone off the different way. But you are just basically got to keep up the kills with Marmos whilst also chasing and hunting down your own sword. Even though you have no sword, you've effectively, I believe it's the same sort of stats as 2 Celtic Mauls, so Celtic Maul in each hand, except it's Thok's fists, so that's pretty awesome. I did mention that you've got to beat him by 5 kills. At the top you'll see the bar with the number of kills that you've got. Now when you've stopped in a guardian room, once you've killed all of them, it's not like Marmos is still killing monsters. He'll actually stop at the same time as you. So yeah, it's pretty much just fighting through guardian doors. So I'll get back to you when there's the next part different to do other than following the guardian rooms. Other than that, just follow the simple one-way path. So you can see that monster dropped an orange shield key, whatever Fox named it. It's an orange thing. Brilliant. So in the next room there will be the actual orange shielded door, which obviously you use the key of the door. But you would just want to, I guess, just get this out of Guardian Door out of the way, so when you come back to it, you don't need to do it. So I'll get back to you once I've finished this Guardian room. So after that Guardian room, you'll have a quick cutscene with Marmros. If you click through it, you can't actually see it, but again, as in the other previous Fremennik guides, I'd advise you to just read through it. It's quite a nice storyline, and there's some amusing parts about, especially the Thok ones, but the storylines and sort of the text, quite cool to read through. I did read through it the very first time, but so I'm just skipping through it because there's no need to read it again. So once you've finished that little cutscene or clicked through it, either way, go through the orange shield door, and there will be a room. Now in this room there will be some soul bells and Protheum ore, which you'll need to Thokly mine. I just made that up, by the way, Thokly, but yeah. So he just punches soul bells rather than picking it, and headbutts from ore. So yeah, nut off 3 bits. And then on the opposite south wall of the room there will be a spin wheel. Somehow you spin this Protheum ore with it, but you make the best thing ever. And this will come into play later on in the saga. So yeah, carry on through as you was doing previously. There will be a couple more Guardian doors, and I'll get back to you once the next part comes up. Now, earlier in the guide, as when I was mentioning abilities to use, I did say it's good to have Slaughter, Assault, and Berserk on. So I guess not everyone is sort of accustomed to the abilities that are out there. I know there's some that I have never bothered to use and probably never will. So, and that maybe there's some sort of part to it that I would probably cock up on if I was using them, as I know I did start to when I was using these abilities first of all. So with Slaughter, this is a damage over time ability, so when you use it, if you just stop attacking that monster, your damage is still going to go on no matter what. So with that, it's good to sort of target a monster, use it, start attacking something different, because the damage will be going when you're not attacking it, and there's no point killing it with normal damage because that would be a waste of the ability. Assault has sort of 2 parts to its damage, so when you use it, you want to not use any other abilities, otherwise it will cancel out the assault. Although most monsters in this probably won't last through the first attack anyway. That's just a quick note on the assault. And Berserk, your ultimate ability, or the suggested one that I've said, is basically I think your defense lowers, or the damage you take is a bit higher than usual, but your damage output is massively increased. So once you use that, it's good to just start hitting out all the abilities you can, and maybe working up to Assault, because it lasts for, I don't know how long it lasts, maybe it's under 20 seconds I would imagine. But yeah, so it's just good to get some really nice hits off. That's just a little note on them. So once you've killed that room with all the spiders in, there'll be the last spider you kill drop the blue rectangle, and the blue rectangle door is conveniently in that same room. So you want to go through there, providing you have the best thing ever that we made earlier in the guide. There will be the pretty little lass that you will give it to as a gift, and in return she will give you a fishy cake. Now that fishy cake makes you get more fish when fishing the spot, but what I will do is once we get up to the boss fight of this saga, there's a little boss fight at the end, which obviously I'll talk through when we get to it. We're just going to be sort of going back, fishing some food, because you do take a bit of damage if you don't do it correctly, but if you do, you don't need too much food. So yeah, you want to just carry on GD fighting as we was doing. There's a little maid behind this door which you do need to push open. There's sort of little chat between the two. He says you're never getting in. Thok nuts it, like you do. And there we go. We've gone through. So here is another cutscene with Marmos, in fact. I just skipped through it by accident, but you want to fish this bubbling water when you can, and this is when you get Mr. and Mrs. Is it Mom, I think? And basically two little crabs fit in your hands, makes your damage go higher, which is always good. And obviously it's the 100% part of the saga, and then you carry on. More GDs. Woot woot. Now I think we're 3 rooms away from the boss fight. But yeah, they take a little while. In the room to the east, you actually find the Crimson Diamond on the floor, or not on the floor, from a monster drop. And that's when you come back in that room. We'll get to it in a minute, but it's nothing to do, and I don't actually believe it's part of the 100%. But I'd say do it just in case, because I haven't tested it. Most of the other things that I wasn't quite sure on the other sagas, I did actually test myself to see if it would stop me getting 100% or something like that, but it didn't. So well, yeah, I tested it and I was getting 100%. So anything I said in my other ones, definitely don't worry if you missed, if there's something you thought should have been done and you didn't do, because they will get you 100%. On this one, it will take me like 20 minutes to test it, and for the sake of spending 10 seconds to open a door, you may as well just do it. Oh, missed one. Yeah, once you've killed the GD, move on, and there'll be another guardian door, so I'll get back to you in a few minutes. And here we go, we got the red pointy stone, aka the Crimson Diamond. So just head back one room, go through the Crimson Diamond, and you come into sort of like a little cutscene with Mr. and Mrs. Mom, aka the crabs on your wrists. But I'd say just skip through it, because it's just something to do with them little squirrel things that, yeah, the ferrets they are. If you sort of played through the third one, Thok is very scared of them ferrets for some absurd reason. But these little crabs want to go and fight them, not too sure why. But yeah, you just go in and Thok runs off. So yeah, just head on back the way you was going, and this will be the last room before the boss room. If you've been picking up food, you won't actually need to go back and fish food. That'll actually be more than enough for you to do the boss fight with. They've actually updated this, I believe, this fish cake. Now, I remember that giving you like double, but I think all it's just doing now, I think it might have been double drops. Can't remember, but I know it didn't fish like that before. They were just coming straight out of the pool. If you could just watch here, yeah, just come straight out. But yeah, this is the very last guardian door before the boss fight, and so I'll get back to you after I've done this quick fight, and then I'll talk you through the boss. So I'll see you again in a second. Right, let's get on with this boss then. So we'll go, let's go in, I guess. Let's go. Some text. And there's Thok's sword in the head of Dale. And in this boss there's 3 other bosses that spawn, or 3 other dungeoneering bosses that spawn. You can't actually damage these, but we'll get onto how you kill these in a second, because you can't damage them through Thok actually hitting them. And then last but not least, he will pop up. So what you want to do is sort of try and get around the back of him if you can. That'll stop the other 2 from being able to damage you, or maybe only 1 will be able to damage you. But the way you kill this is you just face all your damage on, I can't remember what his name is, but this massive fat one here ate all the pies, right? You kill him, and if you fought him before in a frozen floor, basically when he gets low health he feeds on some food. Now because you can't damage the other 2, you kill him till he does need healing, and he'll heal off his actual teammates. If you saw there, I do actually kill him down to 0 life points, but obviously the game just doesn't allow him to die that way. So yeah, you just keep hitting through it. It's very easy. In fact, I didn't even use any food. That was a lot harder before. I think there must have been another patch since I did it myself, because this was very easy compared to when I did it before. I know I only did it by like what I did the Marmos challenge by 1, and I did that the boss was quite easy last time, but I did need a few bits of food. The rest here is just some cutscene. You should get the sword. And I think this is where Boneface just sort of begs for his life, and Thok tells him if he ever sees him again, he'll, I don't know, attack him, kill him, something like that. So he's just going to leave him, and then you walk through the next door and it's just a dank. And Thok decides to go back. Boneface has not gone though, and that is where you sort of give him a little nudge. So he says head back to Marmos. And here it is. Boneface is still there. And that completes the saga. Very nice. Hey guys, so that is 100% completion. Congratulations if you managed to get 100% on all of them, because that is a completionist task ticked off. So I just wanted to quickly say that this was quite a lot of fun making these 5 guides, because it's completionist content as well. That's why I was doing it, and I thought I like to put my knowledge to better use, I guess. So if you've got any suggestions on guides you'd like me to make, because I'm very knowledgeable about pretty much everything in the game, or if there isn't, I can find out about it and make some pretty decent guides. I've actually had some really nice and positive feedback saying about people saying that my guides were some of the better ones they found to use, and it was very helpful. So that is that's made me feel like it's actually worth doing these. So I guess my next set of guides will be mostly sort of completionist or trim completionist type things, or sort of special extra parts of the game, because that's sort of what I'm more interested in playing at the moment. So keep an eye out for them, and thank you again for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you again soon.